Good evening everyone, I'm James Ford-Bannister, BAFRA Director of Training for 2020 and 2021. In this video we will revisit question 75 of the BAFRA Annual Examination of 2020. Now let's break down the question. It's 4th and goal from Team B's 8-yard line. Team A line up to attempt a field goal with holder A10 kneeling at Team B's 15-yard line and A88 in a position to attempt a kick. A10 receives the snap and places the ball on the ground at Team B's 15-yard line, but before A88 can attempt a kick, B42 bats the ball out of A10's hands. The ball goes straight to A88, who catches it while stood on Team B's 22-yard line. A88 then advances across Team B's goal line. You will see that I have highlighted the key areas of this question. As with all written questions, it's often easier to see it in visual format. This is a relatively short and simple play, but let's take a look anyway. The centre snaps the ball to the holder A10, who is kneeling on the ground. B24 comes in an attempt to block, but successfully bats the ball backwards, where it is received by kicker A88, who runs the ball in for an apparent touchdown. Now that we've seen the play, let's take a look at the answers to the questions. I'm going to start with parts 1 and 2, which relate to which team will next put the ball into play and at what yard line. Firstly, we're going to take a look at an approved ruling. This is 413I, part C. While A1 is holding the ball for a place kick, Team B plays the ball by batting it from his hands. Ruling: the ball remains alive. The batting by Team B is legal and results in a fumble. Cited in Rules 211.1 and 413B. You can see that this is key to the play as B42 bats the ball out of A10's hands and A10 is the holder on this play. So what does this mean for our question and the subsequent down? Well, Rule 722A tells us that when a backwards pass or fumble is caught or recovered by any inbounds player, the ball continues in play. However, there is a key exception that relates to our play. This is exception 2. On 4th down, before a change of team possession, when a Team A fumble is caught or recovered by a Team A player other than the fumbler, the ball is dead. If the catch or recovery is behind the spot of the fumble, the ball remains at the spot of the catch or recovery. Therefore, we know that it's 4th and goal, and that the fumble is attributed to A10, who is the holder. So when A88 catches the ball, it becomes immediately dead at Team B's 22-yard line, and this is the spot that relates to the next down. As it's 4th down, it will be a change of team possession and the ball will be awarded to Team B at their own 22-yard line. However, that doesn't answer the whole question as we still have part 3 to think about, which relates to the play clock status of the subsequent down. So what can the rulebook tell us? Well, I'm going to start in Rule 3, where I'll always begin for timing related questions. Rule 324C6 tells us that it will be a 25-second clock, because if an official signals the game clock to be stopped for any of the following reasons, the referee shall signal one open palm in an over-the-head pumping motion that the clock should be set to 25 seconds. Specifically in this case, that Team B has been awarded a first down due to the turnover on downs. So what do we know? Well, let's take a look at the answers to the question. Which team will next put the ball in play? This will be Team B, as we know that there was a turnover on downs due to a fumble recovered on 4th down by a player other than the fumbler. Which yard line will the ball be placed on? Well, this will be B's 22-yard line, as the ball was recovered by the non-fumbling player at a spot behind the original fumble, which was the B 22-yard line. And what will the play clock be set to? It will be set to 25 seconds due to Team B being awarded a first down. Thank you for listening to this breakdown of question 75 from the annual BAFRA examination of 2020. I hope that you've learned something from this video and that you will return soon to listen to more of these breakdowns in the future. I've been James Ford-Bannister, BAFRA Director of Training for 2020 and 2021.